Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with the Lumberjack Landlord. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing awesome, Mike. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, man. So something hit me the other day
Yeah.
that I've never thought about,
Okay.
and I won't do, but I thought it was an interesting mental exercise. You ready?
I'm ready, as many as I'm going to get.
Right. So you're on the East Coast. I'm on the West Coast.
Yep.
What I want to do is say, hey, what would we do if for some reason we were told to invest in some market we know nothing about?
Yep.
And we've agreed to pick Tulsa, Oklahoma, which is one of the cities I've never been to, and I travel a lot, so I've actually never been to Tulsa.
You and me both, yeah.
So we're equal. What would you do? So again, you got to go build a portfolio in Tulsa for whatever reason. What do you do kind of the first 90 days, 6 months? What are you doing?
Buy a tractor, probably to start, I would think.
Why would you buy a tractor?
Well, I mean, Tulsa, Tulsa's a city, but like right outside that, I'm pretty sure is grain belt. So,
okay. I don't know.
I would be like a tractor for hire.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. No, I mean, the first thing that I would probably start doing is I would start looking at their market. I would literally, like, day one, I would start looking at their market. I'd look on MLS. I'd reach out to, I'd probably look at who, based on the asset class that I was looking for.
Yeah.
I would start looking at solds, and I'd start reaching out to those brokers.
Yeah.
Is the first thing that I would do. A lot of landlord groups I've found, a lot of them want you to have property already.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I can't even get in.
Yeah.
Like, that's stupid. Like, that's your first one. That could be the mistake that KOs you. So
Right.
Of course you need that experience. But yeah, first thing I would do is I would just start looking at the market and, trying to learn things about the market and just, kind of picking that, what you would call your buy box.
Yeah. The first thing I think I would do would actually be maybe, I think that is step one, but maybe there's a step zero. And it's really unfair because I've been thinking about this for 3 days.
Yeah.
I think the first thing I would do is I would go to every one of my social media presence and tell people I'm going to be buying in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Anybody out there? I'd go back to LinkedIn. I mean, my professional network at 50 years old is pretty extensive.
Sure.
I'd want to talk to no less than 30 people.
Yeah.
That have experience, and maybe they lived there, maybe went to college there, maybe they own there, maybe their I want to talk to anybody who has had foots on the ground in Tulsa.
That's right. That's right.
Because I'd want to know what's going on today. I also want to know what's going on 20 years ago, right? If you lived in Tulsa in the 80s, I still want to hear from you, because I'll take that information and compare it to somebody that told me in 2010 and then today. I basically want to build my history of Tulsa. And oh, by the way, I won't talk to 5 people. I would talk to closer to 50 than 5, because everybody's going to have their opinion. Sure. And I'm going to be laddering on these opinions. One person might say, hey, zip code, blah, blah, blah is terrible because they got their ass kicked there when they were a kid. But right. 20 other people are like, that's the zip code you want to be in, right?
Right. Because that's got the biggest upside.
Yeah, it's got the biggest upside. It's the best school district. I have no idea. But
yeah, I think,
yeah.
Go ahead. I was just gonna say, so if I'm starting 100% cold in a market and I'm just like I'm being transferred there, I'm gonna have to live there.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm gonna have to live there. And so, yeah, I think that for me, all of my network for me, without a YouTube channel, my network for me is very hyper local.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. And so almost none of those people are going to be any value to me when it comes to Tulsa. The only people that I'm going to, and so that's where I think I always like to look up when I look for an attorney, for a landlord attorney, I look at the minutes in their filings, because I'm not going to go for one guy that is there once a month. I want the guy that's constantly there because he knows. And then I ask about him to other people because he's going to get some experience. Same thing from a real estate professional perspective. I don't want to be, getting that incoming lead on the Saturday that agent was there 2 up hours.
Right.
I don't want that. So I'm actually doing the research, and I want people that have done it before. So I'm looking at the agents in that area and introducing myself to them and saying, basically, this is who I am and this is what I'm looking for. And it just, at that point, Mike, it's not a couple a week like I do now. At that point, it's 10 a day, 8 a day. I am making, I mean, in a month, I am touching 200 or 300 people in a month.
Yeah, exactly. That's the big difference. Because when I did this the first time, Fresno was Tulsa. I had no experience, never been there, blah, blah, blah. In the beginning, because I had this day job, I would try to meet 2 to 5 people a week. And again,
meet them. Okay. Talk.
meet
Okay.
meaning
Gotcha.
connect,
Okay.
right? Sometimes it was email, but as long as I got a referral to them and I knew what I was seeking, I knew what to ask. And again, I call it laddering or layering, sorry.
Yep.
Because you ultimately it'll be my decision. It's my money. And I'm not going to take one person's opinion. I need 17, right? Or 27 or whatever it is. So that's where all my time would be the first month. Second, that would all be while I'm here. I would do all that on the phone, email, whatever. Then let's be clear. I would get my ass on a plane.
Yeah.
And I would go to Tulsa for weeks. I am not investing my even if I like, let's not do the move thing. Let's just say that's going to be my new buy box is Tulsa for some reason. I am in Tulsa now. Granted, I'm lucky enough I don't have a day job, so maybe this is different if I work, but I would be there. If I worked and I could work remote, I would still be there, right? I would suddenly be taking my conference calls from Tulsa Starbucks instead of, Bay Area Starbucks or wherever. But yeah, I would get my ass on a plane. I would imagine the first time I go there, I'd be there for at least 2 weeks.
Oh, for sure.
I would be looking at, I'd drive him in the day. I would drive him at night. I'd see him on the weekends. And the goal would be, I don't know how big Tulsa is. Let's just say it's this big. The goal for me of that 2 weeks, after the 2 weeks, so a month, I have an opinion when I show up. I have a plan. The goal when I left Tulsa is going to be, okay, I have a shot at my buy box. And then really my course takes over. But that's what I would try to get to within 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah. So Tulsa's 775,000 population.
Okay. Yeah, it's about the size of Fresno. At least that's about where Fresno was 10 years ago or whatever.
Exactly. It's about a Midwest city. And so, yeah, for me, I know my market cold and I also know my area cold because I literally drive it all the time. Mm-hmm. So if I were there for 2 weeks, I'd be meeting people all the time, pressing the flesh, shaking hands, hugging wives, kissing babies, whatever has to get done, getting in front of people. And I think the other piece of that too is when we live, because we live here, we would go out and after we would get the dollar menu at McDonald's, we would drive the neighborhoods.
Yeah. And again, it's not necessarily looking for deals, but it's
just to get a feel. Like you want to kind of get a feel like, okay, every single time I go down the street. Because then the other thing too is there's a market that I got into that the first 5 people told me that place sucks. They said it sucks. It's horrible. Nope, you won't ever make money there. It's all garbage. It's all garbage.
Really?
First 5 people I talked to about the second market I got into, everybody was like, nope, nope. And you know what? It was these pretentious a-holes from 2 towns south, and they're just like poo-poo the entire thing. You know what's really funny? My margin on every property I have in that town is 3x what the top margin is for the guy in the town to the 2 towns to the south.
Yeah.
So that's where it's like, don't just take 5 people's word for it. I was still bullheaded and I was like, okay, great. That's 5 people that are saying it's crap.
Right.
Okay, fine. And then I kept on looking, but what about this? And what about this? Then I did a little bit of research and found out that there was some rules that changed in the city in the 80s, which helped it precipitously drop.
So they probably felt that.
And those rules had since been reversed.
Which that scar on my back. I'm going to tell you when that well, it's not there anymore. I'm not going to get that one, but y'all tell you. Yeah,
exactly. And so then what happened is in the next 5 years, I started buying into that market. In the next 5 years, 2 of the 3 largest developers started doing massive projects. Because guess what? The other towns couldn't take they couldn't.
Exactly. Couldn't. Yeah. They just didn't. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Doing that research.
Yeah. So I think after 6 weeks, again, picking Tulsa, it could be any city. At that point, I'm in my course every day. I've got my buy box, my zip code, my criteria. I'm looking at it every day. I'm documenting, I'm making offers. I'm doing calls. That's where that's probably what I'd be doing.
Yeah. I agree. Okay. I think it's, like I said, I'd be reaching out to every single agent that shows up more than once. I want to see some frequency. So I want to see kind of the top 10 agents, but I also want to see what assets they're dealing with. I don't have any interest in talking to the people that are doing, $1 million homes. Mm-hmm. I have every bit of, I want to see the guys that are doing, median level deals, right? And lower.
Yep.
And I want to see frequency. those are the top 10, 20 people that I'm going to reach out to and make sure that I have a conversation with them and get their feedback. And now you're dealing with 20 people that do a decent amount of volume. They can tell you what their experience was. And now you can really start to use that side to formulate that opinion from that piece and then build on top of that.
Yeah. And the other thing I would start doing after 6 weeks, and now you're in my course doing the work, is I would tell you everybody you talk to what your buy box is.
Absolutely. Yep.
I would call all those relationships you build in the first 6 weeks and say, thank you very much. I appreciate your time. I just want to let you know that I've decided to buy X.
Yep.
Let me know if you find one. Do you know anybody that does that? Again, now, so the first 6 weeks you're absorbing. Now, again, fishing, right? You're throwing out, you just never know who's going to bite. Just keep throwing them out. Practice, practice, practice. And again, what we just went through could be any market across the country, and frankly, probably any market in the world. I don't think I would change anything other than I would have to figure out the debt structure, titling, things of those nature. But learning a market, what we just talked about, I would do the exact process if it was Toronto, Canada, Sydney, Australia, Hong Kong, any of those, other than the other stuff.
If something got nutty for us, Mike, like we just didn't want to do stuff in our market anymore, we could do like a game of it.
We could
do like a game. I mean, I'd be open to that, because it's what, it's like our market's so easy, it's so cold. It's just like this street, this, yep, exactly. Like I can walk it. Here's your number, done.
Well, you know what? After your what is it, 45, 6, 14 or whatever it is?
Yeah, 45, 6, 4, done. Yeah,
we could do that after that, because you'll have more flexibility.
That would be awesome. I think that would be so much fun. Yeah, we'll like, and should we pick the same market, or should we pick different markets and see what we can make of them?
No, I think we do the same markets.
Oh man, that'd be so much fun.
Yeah, and I think we do it together. I mean, we just, throw 6 figures somewhere into some other entity and just go, hey, let's see what these two Jack Weasels could do. I don't know. Why not? Wait, what the hell?
Yeah, dude, I think that'd be so much fun. I'm up.
There you go. How many more days you got to this 45, 6,
45, 6, 14 is January 4th of 2023. Not that I've looked it up. January 4th, 2023.
So less than a year.
Yeah.
You're 51 weeks away.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. 51 weeks away.
I'm in.
Yeah.
All right.
It's crazy.
This could be fun.
Like we started doing all of the stuff that needs to happen.
Yes.
From the retirement perspective, right?
Yeah, because you want to do the refis, right? That we talked about earlier. You're going to do those now while you got a W-2. Yeah.
Yep. Do it all of that. That's why it's like literally I feel so behind every single day and still trying to do my work. And I'm still doing my work. I'm still buying new deals, but I got to get my house right. I got my house in order.
Yeah.
Because that W-2 is going to vanish
in 51 weeks.
About 51 weeks.
Well, if you missed that, I won't let you forget it.
No, I know, dude. I trust me. I totally get it. I've had to put a couple people, generally speaking, on notice. Like, hey, this is not to be public knowledge, but there is a very good chance, more likely than not, that on January 4th, I'm vapor.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Very cool.
Okay.
Dude, this is a lot of fun, man. I appreciate it. This is a fun conversation. And yeah, in 51 weeks, or maybe we'll let you have a few weeks in Vegas with your wife. So maybe 60 weeks, we'll do something like this.
So we're already planning that this summer.
I'm sure you are. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're already planning that this summer. So yeah, so it'll be, I got to make sure to use up that vacation time that last year. I've never used it before. Might as well use it now.
There you go. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate your time.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it.